everyone, my name is Joanna Luvoa, the co-founder of Pulse for Her. Today we're going to have a video about contraception. If you've been following us on Instagram or in any social media platform of ours, you know we've been going all out about contraception. So today we're going to talk about calendar-based method of contraception. When we posted a question tag in our DMs, on our Instagram, someone asked us like, hey, you guys are sharing all about injections, about birth control pill. But then for me, I want someone who can be able to give me a much more conservative point of view. And I was like, this is a very hard task to find. So I was like, when I found Susan, I was like, Susan, come help me and talk to people about the calendar-based method of contraception. So this is Mrs. Susan Bukenya, who we are hosting today. So Susan, it's so nice to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. And this is a disclaimer. I don't want anyone to follow what I am doing because you have to, first of all, study your cycle as a person and know exactly where your fertile days are and your safe days are. So this works for me, and I'm just going to give a little insight on how that goes for me. Yeah. You see, first of all, you have to have this conversation with your partner. You should be on the same page because this involves both parties. It doesn't have to be only yourself, where you have the pill and you're taking it and you know your own cycle. Yes. So for this, you have to have your partner involved. Once your partner is involved, I feel like it is easy for you guys to maneuver around it. It's a task. It's a task, definitely. Yes. You have to be attentive to your cycle, but also it's what works for me because I wasn't ready to get into external things into my body. I would say something like that. Yes.
Okay, so how many children do you have? Let's first start from there. How many kids do you have, Suzanne?
I have 3 children. The eldest is 13. The second born is 9
Let's first
years.
This is how a mom, what 13-year-old looks like. First tell us some tips. Let's start from there. Okay, let's just move on to contraception. So give us a spacing.
There's 13 and 9 and 4-year-old.
Oh, so that's a very good space. So which means they're all
about 4
spaced
years.
apart.
Yes.
Also, which means that when you actually, like all these children, or like you are specifically, like, you know what, I'm actually ready to give birth.
Yes.
Now let's.
Yes, I would actually, because I was already counting my days. So it was easy for me to say, but now I would know when my body is ready to have a child and I would try for a child. But the weird thing is, it doesn't happen there and then.
Okay.
And yet, when you're trying not to get pregnant, you're really scared. And you're like, oh my God, these days are not safe and I'm not doing nothing. But then when you're like, okay, I'm ready and I should have a child, ironically, it happens like 2 to 3 months. The first month, it won't even happen. Then the second month, it can or won't. But yes, I would always plan for my children. They're not by mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I want to actually go back into like a little bit of why you decided to use the calendar-based method.
I felt like it was the safest.
Okay.
Not because I know there are others that are safe, but I felt like that is what I was comfortable with at that time. And I actually thought by now I would have gone to another method, but I haven't. I feel like I'll only do that if I'm done with having children completely. Yeah.
Nice. How many children do you want to have, Susan?
Maybe one more.
Okay. Let me stop digressing. So I just want to know, like, what are the risks? What risks have you experienced so far with this with a calendar-based method?
I'm lucky enough to have a regular cycle, which is about 27, 28 to 30 days. But a few times it changes and you have to follow your changes. That's why you need to know from your first to your last day, you need to be aware of what is going on with you. But mine is regular, so I hardly go through those hiccups and all. Maybe the really significant hiccup I got is the the time lapse or something. Yes, that one.
Oh, that actually happens?
Yes, I didn't know. I left when I was like on my first day, which should be okay-ish. And then the second day is the heaviest.
Okay.
Then when I landed the other side, I should be like on the second day. Trust, I had nothing.
Are you joking?
Nothing. The entire time. That's my period ended there.
So your period lasted 2 days?
One day, I think. One,
so what does that do
hours.
now for your counting and for your cycle?
I had to go back. Because I had to wait for all those days and it didn't happen. And then actually my periods didn't even happen at 28-day cycle. It was beyond that. I was late about 6 days.
How did you panic? Did you panic?
I did not panic because I was sure.
Did you panic about that one getting
No, that part I didn't panic.
Okay.
But there are moments where I panic and I'm having conversations with God on, oh my God, I need my peace to come. So yes.
So what hacks are you putting in place when you travel? What do you do? Because now that's a serious concern. Because now I'd be worried, which means that every single time I have to keep refreshing my calendar.
No, when you travel, I don't think it actually changes.
Okay.
But it changes if you're going to travel and you're in your periods. That's what happened.
Okay.
Yes. No, most of the time I'm not actually even on my period.
Okay.
But the one time it happened, I was at the beginning, at day 1 of my period. So like the 24 hours were done and there was nothing else. I don't know what that science has to say with that, but I don't know what happens after that.
Yeah. Nothing
came until I even came back, waited for it to come on when it's supposed to come. It did come. But because I knew I had that, I just waited to see if it's just late. Of course, I did not get that. I wasn't pregnant. I really wasn't pregnant.
Okay. So actually, what apps do you use, by the way? What apps do you use to track properly? Which app is very efficient?
We have enough apps on the App Store and on Google Play.
You have like 5 apps?
No, I have one, which is PC calendar, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think they're there. But you need to, for the safe days method, you need to calculate your days for a period of time to actually know that your cycle is 28, 30. I know people go beyond that, 35, 40 days. Me, I go for just 3 to 4 days for my periods and they're done. So yeah, mine is 28. Okay,
so how do you bring your partner on board on this? So was it a decision you both made? Or you had actually said a decision that you both made? So now does he also have an app on his phone? Does he also have an app on his phone? So then disturb Suzanne.
No app. Okay. But as time goes on, because I've been married for 13 years. Okay. So as time goes on, they kind of are now aware of the time when you're not safe, you're safe. We have conversations like, but your periods have taken long this month. And then you're like, do not scare me, leave me alone. Me, I know I'm okay, you know? Yeah, we have that. But for him, he has no app. It is mine. It's my responsibility mainly. Okay.
So what do you do on your fertile days?
On my fertile days, I have 3 options. Okay. You either have to do withdraw, or use condoms, or not have at all. Yeah.
That's simple.
It's not simple, but I mean, you need to know that you're going into this and you may have a baby after or not. Yeah.
But I think first of all, Suzanne, thank you so much for coming and having this conversation with us. It's not an easy conversation to have because every single person I was actually asking to come on for the show, they were like, how can I talk about contraception on TV? No. But like, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. So before we conclude, when you're using the calendar method, do you have to see a doctor?
Yes, you should. Reason is because you're guided on how to track your days, which you should be doing ideally for at least 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
But that's for us who are regular. If you're irregular, I would not, of course, the doctor will tell you best, but irregular is very hard to track with safe days. Okay,
so which means, in conclusion, guys, if you actually want to begin using the calendar-based method, step number 1, see a doctor. Step number 2, track your days for?
Study your cycle.
Study your cycle and yourself for the next 6 months.
Yes.
Right? Yes. And literally track it down using any app that you use and make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And talk to your partner.
And then what about God? Do you have to go to
Yes,
God?
you have to put... You have to pray to God because there are days when you've miscalculated or hormones. It comes earlier than it should, and yet you had messed up. So we have the moments with God a lot.